Are you getting married anytime soon and you're wondering how your first sexual intercourse is going to be? Well, we put together some points to help the third timers. If you are interested and you want to know more, please continue watching this video. This is Time with Dr. Adams. Time with Dr. Adams. Hi there. Welcome to another episode of Time with Dr. Adams. My name is Dr. Saki. You can call me Dr. Adams. This is my channel. If this is your first time coming here, thank you very much. Please subscribe, like, and share. Today I'm here with Boss Daddy. We've been doing a series on sex in the Christian settings. So today we are going to share with you some 7 points we've put together. These are points we put together. It's not by force, it's not written in golden letters. You can also add yours. Let us know your additions in the comment section below. So let's get rolling.
So the first point is be ready. Be ready in the sense that when it comes to sex, we as Christians treat it as very sacred. Therefore, we advise that you could wait till you get married before you have it. But nonetheless, if you had it before, you can still stay chaste until you get married. When it comes to sex itself, you have to be ready before you get yourself into it. You don't need to be rushed into it. The fact that you are married doesn't mean that you'd have to do it instantly. No, there are instances where people get married and even on the wedding night, they are not able to have sex because of fatigue from the wedding itself. My wife and I, we didn't even have sex on the first day. So don't be rushed into it. Make sure that you're ready before you have sex.
Yeah, okay. So I think he said it all, but the main thing is be ready. It's not a rush. You have a whole lifetime ahead of you. If it's not the first night, you can have it any other night. But both of you should be ready to do it, and everyone should put in an effort. That's why you need to be ready.
Yeah. So the second point is be comfortable. Now, sex is meant to be enjoyed. Now, a lot of factors can actually decrease the pleasure in sex. So we advise that you are very comfortable. That's in the sense that you should have it in a place where it's serene. You know, if you feel that you are living in a particular location, and because of that there's tension between you and your wife, and you want to move out somewhere, go on a little vacation, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go outside the country. You can go there and then have it there to actually take your mind off everything that is going on in your house, so that you can have that peace of mind to have it. You can spice it up by providing some candles, scented perfumes.
There's that people who actually think that some Christian men, most Christian men are romantic. Is it true?
Oh, that's not true. Most of these marriages that we hold are actually held in the church, and that means that most of these people we marry are Christians. So it's just a matter of trying to spice it up a little bit. You don't need to do much. Getting candles, scented candles in your room doesn't really, cost a lot. You can just get these candles just to get that whole atmosphere ready for sex, and get the scent and then the smell would actually put you guys in the mood. So being romantic doesn't really cost a thing. It's just something extra you do that makes you romantic. So I would say that make sure that you are comfortable where you are having the sex. The location really counts, and the whole atmosphere also counts.
Yeah, you can put on music, the lights can be on or off depending on what you like. I also want to tell the Christian women out there that the fact that you're a Christian woman doesn't mean your lingerie should be boring. I personally, before marriage, preferred wearing granny undies. But then before we got married, we went shopping together, and he chose the lingeries actually, which I only wear when I'm in the house. When I'm going to work, I wear my grannies, So do not think there's anything wrong in wearing what we call the sexy panties or the sexy underwears. So far as you are married, God approves of it. So don't let it be boring. Enjoy it. Spice things up by getting these nice undies as well.
Yeah. So the next point is know your vagina. And since my wife is the vagina apostle, I would actually leave this to her to actually explain and tell us what exactly the vagina is.
Vagina. So if you have not watched my video on vagina, please go to my playlist. Please go to my playlist and find the video there on about vagina. Please, a woman is supposed to know her vagina. I see women who don't know the difference between the entry or the opening of the vagina and the urethra, where the urine comes from. So if or your first night or your first days that you're going to have sex, imagine if the man is also a virgin and does not know where the penis is supposed to enter. It's going to be funny and it's going to be embarrassing. So you, the woman yourself, take a mirror and look at it. It's yours. Be comfortable with it and know where the entry is, so that even the first few nights, if he's not able to find it himself, you guide him to find the hole. In the vagina, you have the highway. Please, I want to say that it's not every virgin that bleeds on the first night. It's not. Sometimes you might have been doing some exercise, and I bled a little bit when I was on a bike once. And even on the first night too, I bled just a little. It's like some people are constantly looking for that blood. It might not happen, and it doesn't necessarily mean that your wife wasn't a virgin. But then why should people even lie about virginity? If you're a virgin, if you're not a virgin, life still moves on. Okay, so please know your vagina for yourself, so that you can help each other, guide him if you cannot find it.
Okay, so the next point is foreplay. Foreplay is also one of the important prerequisites for sex. Now, usually most people say that foreplay is actually for women, because for guys, and when they say you're in the mood and you're just hitting bam 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 and then you go your way. But maybe that could be in the relationship context. But when it comes to marriage, both of you are meant to enjoy it equally. So that selfishness that you were actually practicing whilst you were dating or whatever, that should cease there. That shouldn't be brought into the mind. Because for marriage, you're supposed to enjoy it equally. So if you realize that your wife prefers more of foreplay than the thrusting, then you'd have to oblige to that and make sure that you are giving your wife that extreme excitement before you also get yours by thrusting. Most of the time, you realize that the guy might be thrusting for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or more. But at the end of the exercise, the wife deep inside her will not have enjoyed the sex, because she might not have orgasmed or even had that pleasurable experience, because the guy was only thinking about himself and then just pouncing and pouncing. No, it doesn't work that way. So if that is what you've been doing, please let's revise our notes as gentlemen and then find out from our wives what they really want, so that the foreplay, which is very essential, would be more, so that we can both enjoy the sex equally.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I also want to add that some women have orgasm during foreplay, others can also have it even during the penetration. But like he rightly said, find out what works for your wife and find out what works for your husband. The foreplay too, you can add other things. So if you guys are, especially for the first timers, the virgins, fingering her a bit can help with the opening of the vagina before you actually penetrate. Yeah.
So the next point is laugh at yourselves. And this is also very important, because it takes away the tension that might arise as a result of the sex you had previously. It could be that because of the excitement and all that, one of you can even fart whilst you're having sex.
Yeah.
And that shouldn't be something that you won't talk about. No, this is marriage. I mean, you should be able to talk about everything. So after sex, whilst you are still feeling cozy in bed and everything, you can actually just bring that up to create that, laughable experience, and then you take it from there. You laugh about it, and life goes on. Sex is not a life and death situation. No, it's something that should be done always. So let's laugh about some of these things and then just move on in life.
Yeah, imagine the first night you not being able to find the opening of the vagina. Now that can be funny. So you should be able to laugh about it and move on, because you learn as you go along.
This is a bonus point. Dear men, you've been able to practice team chastity to this point. You don't need to rush it. Just make sure you are taking it easy with your wife. The first night might not be good, maybe the second night as well, or maybe the whole week. But get it at the back of your mind that you have a whole lifetime to practice as many styles as you want and do it as many times as you want. So just take it easy and make sure that both of you are in sync and you're doing it to actually please each other and enjoy each other. Let the communication flow. Ask questions. Am I doing it well? Is it okay? So that it is enjoyable by both yourself and your partner. Don't rush it. There's a lot of time to practice a lot of styles. Thank you.
And also, just know that the first night or the first few nights that you start having sex, you might not even orgasm, and that is fine, because those sex are going to be sloppy, but you get better as you practice more and as you do it more often.
So the next point is lubrication. Lubrication is very important, specifically because it could be that whilst you were courting, you decided not to even have sex, which is the right thing to do in a Christian context. Or your wife was actually a virgin before you married her. So that makes it very difficult for penetration in those two instances. So as a caring husband, you don't even wait for your wife to even talk about some of these things. You just go out of your way to get a lubricant that you would apply before penetration starts to make it very smooth for your wife. You don't have to wait and then, forcefully thrust to create that pain. It's not necessary. Sex is meant to be enjoyed. That's the underlying factor. So anyhow you'll be able to make it smooth and fun for your partner. You always have to think about making it that way for your partner. So lubrication is very important. It actually makes the gate very smooth to go through. It opens the gates widely and smoothly enough for you to also enjoy whilst penetrating.
Okay, so I agree with everything he said. Lubrication is very important, especially today. One baby is doing the video with us. She's not sitting still. Sorry. Say hi. Bye. Like you rightly said, lubrication is very important when it comes to sex, especially in the first few days. The woman naturally is able to produce some juices, but since it's your first time and you know wet enough, so the lubrication helps, like he has said.
Okay, so our next point is communication. Just as communication is important in every aspect of our life, it's very important when it comes to sex. Now, you should be able to talk about everything in a relationship, and when it comes to sex, you should even be more explicit about it. You should be able to discuss the past experiences that you had in your sexual life with your partner. And whilst you are having sex with your wife, during and even after sex, you should be able to talk about it and analyze the whole process. If something went wrong, you shouldn't keep it to yourself. You should be able to voice it out to your partner to correct it and make it better, so that the experiences will be pleasurable and nice. So don't keep things in you. If you want more foreplay, tell your husband or your wife, I want more foreplay. If you want more thrusting, tell your wife or your husband, I want more thrusting. If he's hitting too hard or too deep, please you are hitting too hard.
You should be able.
Yes, you should be able to voice it out and say it, so that in his mind he feels he's doing a good job. But whilst you are lying there, you're not actually enjoying it. But because you feel that as a wife is your obligation, you just lay down and then make him thrust and go away. No, we are supposed to both enjoy sex. So please, let's talk about it. Pre, during, and post, to make the next experience better. And like I always say, sex is like building a house. You start from somewhere and then you build upon it. So if you are not communicating, then it becomes stagnant. Once you communicate, it means that you are building on it, you are changing styles, you are adding styles, and then that makes it more fun because it gives you a variety of things to do whilst having sex.
Yes, and there's this myth or bad notion that sex is all about the man's performance. No, it's a two-way thing. Communication. You cannot communicate with someone who is also not minding you. So it's both ways. The man does his part, and the woman also must do her part. Women, Christian women, religious women, just do not go and lie there like this and expect the man to come do this thing and go away, and then you say, "Oh, he did not perform well." Ask him. When I hold this part, do you like it? When I do this thing, do you like it? Ask him what he likes so that you'll be able to do it. Combining laughing at yourself and communication. There's been times when he's wanted us to try and style it. I'm like, hey, it's not helping me. Then we stop. There's been times where maybe we are doing something and I'm sitting in a position he doesn't like me. Be like, oh, and say shit, and then you move along, communicate, because it's not dependent on just the man. It's both ways. If you are giving him constructive criticism and he's also doing likewise, then you'll be able to enjoy it better. Then you'll be able to move forward. It's going to be step by step, like he used the building a house analogy. So it's going to be a step by step something to do. So
yes. So finally, I want to say that sex is meant to be enjoyed by both parties, and there is no standard textbook for how long sex should be. It's an arrangement between your wife and yourself. Just make sure that you both are enjoying it and getting satisfied. So for the men, please, the gentlemen, you don't need to mix a lot of things. You don't need to go in for a lot of concoctions and mixtures and what have you, just to go for long hours, which even your wife might not even get an orgasm through all that effort you are going. And these things, some of these things have sexual health implications, which might affect you, later on in the future, where you might need your strength and it might fail you. So please, let's try as much as possible to please our wives by our own standards as married people. As married people. Rather than following the
movies.
Yes.
People watch a lot of movies.
It's very bad.
They think, these movies you are seeing, one, they are actors and some of them are on steroids. So you cannot compare the performance of your husband and yourself to the people you see on TV.
Like we would die. Because sometimes you realize that people say that me I go 30 minutes, 1 hour a day. I mean, let's be realistic. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
If you have to do more foreplay to make up for whatever the person is doing for that 1 hour, you can do that. Let your wife get a better orgasm rather than somebody make her wife suffer throughout all these 1 hour or 30 minutes of trusting. Please, let's be realistic and let's care for our partners. Then we'll actually appreciate what they go through when we are doing all these things.
I also want to conclude with this, that there are some days that the sex is just going to be average, because sex depends on a lot of things. You can be tired, you can be stressed from work, health-wise, you can be depressed, you can have other factors weighing in. So some days the sex is just going to be average. There are days that is going to be really good, and the other side is going to be really, really super. But it's the two of you. Do not compare what the two of you are doing to what you see outside or what others attend, you enjoy what you have, and then build on it, make it better for the two of you. So thank you very much for joining us. I'm grateful to Boss Daddy and Boss Baby for worrying us today. Today, she was with us. She didn't want to go to grandma. So thank you very much. Please subscribe, like, share. Let us know in the comment section below if there are any topics you want us to cover, and if there's anything you also want to add to what we've said, please let us know in the comment section so everyone will learn. This was Time with Dr. Adams. See you in the other episode. Bye. Time with Dr. Adams. Time with Dr.